What's going on, baseball fans? How you doing? So the Baltimore Orioles have become the team of America this year. So in this video, I'm going to break down how exactly they've been able to have all this success and if I think they can make the playoffs. Let's go talk about it. Before I get started, if you are new to the channel, think about subscribing down below. If you can, hit the like button, hit the bell button, hit the share button, hit all the buttons. Okay, so here we go. But before I dive into everything, let's take a look at the preseason projections on Fangraphs. Coming into this year, they only had the Orioles winning 65 games with 97 losses, only gave them a 0.2% chance of making the playoffs. My, oh my, how the tables have turned. Look at the Orioles now. They have already surpassed the win total that Fangraphs projected them. They already have 67 wins, 67-60, and they are 2 out of the third wild card spot. I mean, what a great story this has been. You're in one of the toughest divisions of all of Major League Baseball with the Yankees, the Rays, the Blue Jays. Well, my Red Sox stink now, but hey, the Red Sox, they got a pretty good team. I would like to still say that, but with the Orioles, they have just exceeded all expectations. So as of right now, the Orioles, 67-60. Fangraphs, they've increased from that 0.2% chance all the way to 8%, an 8% chance of being able to clinch a wild card. That's still behind, in their opinion, of the Twins, who have a 9.1% chance. As of right now, they have the Mariners at 94.2%, the Blue Jays at 87%, and the Rays at 81.8%. So Fangraphs, they still think they have a large hill to climb. But if we do take a look at the Orioles when it comes to their strength of schedule, they do have a pretty tough schedule, a .517 win percentage the rest of the way. So they definitely have a bit of a tough road in the month of September. But hey, they're here right now, 2 games out. I mean, if they've gotten this far, why couldn't they end up maybe getting that third wild card spot? So let's dive into everything. Let's see how they have been able to get to this point. We're going to take a look at the offense, the starting pitching, and the bullpen, as well as the defense. Let's get to it. Let's start off with the offense, and the Orioles have been doing a great job of putting the bat on the ball. They rank 11th in WRC plus in the second half of the year. If we go take a look at some individual performances, I mean, Adley Rutschman, this guy has been absolutely fantastic. Right now, he is their leading player when it comes to Fangraph WAR in the second half. But look at the season this guy has been having. Phenomenal numbers for a rookie. 254 batting average with a 363 on base, 442 slugging, 8 home runs, a 134 WRC plus. Also playing just amazing defense. This guy is the real deal. We've known this for a while now. I was so excited for this guy. Well, as a Red Sox fan, not excited at all, but very excited to see what this guy could do. To me, he's like the modern day Joe Mauer at this point. He has just been absolutely phenomenal. I think he has been just easily one of the biggest reasons the Orioles have had so much success. When you have a guy like that behind the plate, just so mature, and he just handles everything. You know, he's like the general out there, and this guy has already taken to that extremely well. To me, he is easily one of the most important aspects of this team. But taking a look at other players, Jorge Mateo is a guy that has really come alive for the Orioles. He's having a great second half of the season through 34 games, hitting 288 with a 323 on base, a 517 slugging. That's very good. 5 homers, 20 RBIs, and 6 stolen bases as well. Playing some decent defense out there. Hey, this guy, I mean, there wasn't really a whole lot, going on with this guy coming into this year, but he is just really taken to his spot on the team. I mean, he's easily having his best season through 3 seasons so far. Taking a look at some other guys, Cedric Mullins was a little got off to a slow start there in the first half, but he has come alive over the last 33 games, hitting 300 with a 365 on base, 467 slugging, 9 stolen bases, 4 homers, 13 RBIs, a 138 WRC plus. He has, I mean, this was a guy who had a phenomenal season last year. Like I said, came into this year pretty slow, but man, he has just really come alive in the second half. Santander, he's providing the power. 8 home runs in the second half, 27 homers, hitting 304 in the second half with a 354 on base, a 548 slugging. I mean, they're just getting a lot of guys stepping up here. And this is even without Trey Mancini, who's now on the Astros. But man, they're just getting a lot of good performances right now. So let's go talk about the defense. The Orioles aren't just hitting the ball well, they're playing some good defense as well. If we take a look at the overall defensive rankings on Fangraphs, they rank 10th overall with an 8.8 defense. Comes with a 2.3 UZR along with 34 defensive runs saved. If we take a look at where they rank in terms of defensive runs saved, 9th overall, But the big thing with the Orioles that I want to point out here is that they are having some decent outfield defense this year. If we take a look at the defensive runs saved among the outfield, they have 9. That ranks 10th overall in the major leagues. And that is actually going to lead to my next point, which is the starting pitching. This defense has actually been a big key for the starting pitching, and I'm going to tell you why. Let's go talk about the starting pitching. In the first half of the year, the Orioles had one of the best bullpens in all of Major League Baseball, and we'll talk about the bullpen in just a little bit, but let's focus on the starting pitching, and they have been performing extremely well. In the last 30 days, they rank 8th overall in Fangraph WAR. If we take a look over 26 starts from their starters, they have a 3.11 ERA with a 3.44 FIP, a 4.02 xFIP. As you can see here, not a whole lot of strikeouts, 7.3 strikeouts per 9, but they're not walking a lot of guys either. 2 walks per 9, and they're keeping the ball in the yard, a 0.79 home run per 9 rate. That's extremely good. Now, the Orioles, like I said, not a lot of strikeouts, but what the Orioles are doing, remember I mentioned with the outfield defense, one of the better outfields out there, the Orioles are playing to that, kind of like how the Cardinals, they play to their really good defense, and that's how their starting pitchers have success. The Orioles have taken a similar approach. Remember also, they pushed the wall back out in left field, and that has actually proven to be a very good thing. If we go take a look at their batted ball statistics all year, the Orioles are second in fly ball percentage with a 40.9% or 40.9%. That's a lot of fly balls, and the Orioles, they are taking to that. Let's go take a look here at what these guys have been doing. As you can see here, Dean Kramer, not a lot of strikeouts. Austin Voth, not a lot of strikeouts. None of these guys have anywhere near 9 strikeouts per 9, except for DL Hall in his 1 start. But these guys, they're getting a lot of fly balls. Even a guy like Jordan Lyles as well. I remember when they signed Jordan Lyles, I actually kind of liked the move because this was a guy who last year with Texas, he had a lot of innings pitched, 180 innings pitched in 32 games, 30 starts. I thought, hey, you know what? It's a veteran guy. He's going to give some stability to that rotation. And that's exactly what he's been doing this year. I mean, not amazing numbers overall, but this is a guy who has been getting also a lot of fly balls. That signing has actually just really worked out for the Orioles there, and I think they saw something, before anyone else did. If you take a look, in his career, he has a 34.3% fly ball percentage, but this year, it's all the way up to 41.4. So not only is he getting those fly balls for those outfielders, he's just giving you a lot of innings as well, brought a lot of stability to that rotation, and honestly, he got him for pretty cheap, honestly. But I love what the Orioles have been doing in this rotation. I mean, look at what these guys have been doing here. I mean, this is like crazy numbers here. A 2.25 ERA for Dean Kramer, a 2.59 FIP. Look at Austin Voth, man. 6 starts over the last 30 days, a 2.18 ERA, the FIP at a 3.5. These are just great numbers. Watkins is pitching well. Kyle Bradish has been pitching well. They just have a stable rotation right now, and they're just taking advantage of the outfield defense, getting those fly balls. You got to love what the Orioles are doing, but let's go focus on the bullpen. So remember earlier I mentioned the Orioles had one of the best bullpens in Major League Baseball. From the beginning of the year all the way up until the trade deadline, they ranked 7th in Fangraph WAR with a 3.6. Really solid numbers from that bullpen, a 3.05 ERA and a 3.62 FIP. But like I said, they traded away Jorge Lopez. A lot of people thought that was a bit of a head scratcher, but they got some good prospects back in that deal. But they also had a guy that could step into his place in Felix Bautista. This guy has been absolutely fantastic since the trade deadline. Take a look at what he's been doing here. He's got 7 saves since then over 11 games, a 1.35 ERA, a 2.90 FIP, right around 13 strikeouts per 9. He's keeping the walks down. He's keeping the home runs down for the most part. But you got a lot of other guys stepping up for them as well. I think I'm pronouncing this right. Keanu Perez, a 3.38 ERA, 2.25 FIP. Keegan Aiken has been in that bullpen all year. He's been doing a tremendous job. But since the trade deadline, the ERA is a little high at a 6.75, but the FIP is really good at a 1.63. Still has a good strikeout to walk ratio. They got a lot of guys with some good numbers here. They do have some other guys, with some pretty mediocre numbers overall, but for the most part, the Orioles bullpen, while it's not as good as what it was in the first half, if we actually take a look, like I said, they were 7th overall up until the trade deadline. Now Since the trade deadline, they're only 17th overall, but not terrible numbers by any means. An ERA at 4. The FIP is just under a 4. The xFIP is a 3.6, so that's pretty good. Still a pretty solid strikeout to walk ratio, 8.5 strikeouts to about 2.3 walks per 9. The home runs, they could go a little lower, but for the most part, the Orioles bullpen, as you can see here, they only have 1 loss since the trade deadline. So the Orioles bullpen has been pretty solid for the most part. They're getting just some good offense here. They've got a lot of guys stepping up. Adley Rutschman has just brought a lot of stability to that team. Cedric Mullins has been waking up. Jorge Mateo has just been great. Santander has been giving you a lot of power. The starting pitching, they're just having good performance after good performance after good performance. They're taking advantage of the outfield defense. The bullpen continues to be solid. Now, for the Orioles, they're 2 games back here. I feel like, and this is no disrespect to the Orioles because they're doing so well, I just wonder if they are going to have enough to be able to get this done. You're 2 out. If we go take a look at the Orioles schedule, remember they had a pretty tough strength of schedule for the rest of the way, but let's take a look at what matchups they have here. So really right now, I would say, you got Tampa, Seattle. I feel like those 2 teams are going to get in. I just really like what they've been doing. Toronto, they've been a little suspect this year. They've been up and down. It's such an electric team. If we take a look, you got the Guardians for a few games here. Then you got the A's, but then you got the Blue Jays there for 4. So a home series right there, man. That could be a time where you could really take advantage. So that's going to be a big one. You got the Blue Jays again. And then you got the Red Sox here for a few. They've been playing the Red Sox really well this year. You got the Nationals here. You got an easy series with the Tigers. Now, that strength of schedule is a little higher because you are playing against, teams like the Blue Jays. You got the Yankees. The Red Sox, sure, they're not amazing by any means, but they got some talent on that team. With the Orioles and the Red Sox, they always play each other pretty tough. Then you got the Yankees again, and then you got the Blue Jays for 3 at the end of the year. I do feel like the Orioles, they could definitely get this done, especially with the amount of games they have left against the Blue Jays. No more against the Rays, so you can't really count on that. But with the Blue Jays, that's the team you're going to have to go after because you have so many games left with them. They got a couple of easy series here in between with the A's, the Nats, the Tigers. Don't forget about the Astros. I forgot to mention that as well. That is going to be a tough series for them. And you got the Red Sox on the road, the Yankees on the road. So it is a bit of a tough road ahead, but this can be done just because you have so many games left against Toronto. If I were to predict right now, I feel like they're not going to be quite there. You just don't have all the track records there. But hey, why not now? Why couldn't they do it? Why couldn't they prove the world wrong, man? I've loved what they've done this year. I think it's a great story. I hope they can do it. I hope they can get in. I think that would just be fantastic, to be completely honest with you. But let me know what you think down below. Do you think the Orioles are going to make it? Where do you think they will finish at the end of the year? Do you think they'll get a wild card spot? Do you think they'll just miss? Let me know what you think down below. But that's all I have for right now. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you next time.